Kevin Thomas, Senior Pastor of Forest Lake United Methodist Church. Thank you for joining us as we look at the lectionary readings for this week. Today, let's look at the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 21, verses 23 through 32. And when Jesus had come into the temple, the chief priests and the elders of the people came to him as he was teaching and said, "By what authority are you doing these things? And who gave you this authority?" And Jesus answered and said to them, "I will ask you one thing too, which if you tell me, I will also tell you by what authority I do these things. The baptism of John was from what source? From heaven or from men?" And they began reasoning among themselves, saying, "If we say from heaven, he will say to us, then why do you not believe him? But if we say from men, we fear the multitude, for they all hold John to be a prophet." And answering Jesus, they said, "We do not know." He also said to them, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. But what do you think? A man had 2 sons, and he came to the first and said, 'Son, go to work today in the vineyard.' And he answered and said, 'I will, sir,' and he did not go. And he came to the second and said the same thing, but he answered and said, 'I will not.' Yet afterward he regretted it and went. Which of the 2 did the will of his father?" They said, "The latter." Jesus said to them, "Truly I say to you that the tax gatherers and harlots will get into the kingdom of God before you. For John came to you in the way of righteousness, and you did not believe him. But the tax gatherers and the harlots did believe him. And you, seeing this, did not even feel remorse afterward so as to believe him." It's a real critical question that comes to Jesus in today's text. How are we included in the faith? How can we call ourselves Christian? What does it mean to claim the name? Well, a lot of the church puts everything just on a certain prayer. You bow your head, close your eyes, raise your hand, and repeat the sinner's prayer after me, and then you're in the kingdom, as if it's a finished product. And belief is important. But there's more to it than that. For 2,000 years, we've argued over creeds. We've divided up the church over creeds, and the creeds are certainly vital. They help us to understand what it is we believe, who it is that we believe. But the Christian faith is far more than just an agreement on a set of facts. It's far more than belief in a set of doctrinal standards. As important as those are, if it is simply an academic procedure, then we've missed out on the real heart of the message. Jesus uses this short parable to make it perfectly clear. One son obeys his father in words, but not in actions. The other disobeys in words, but then goes out and obeys in actions. Which is the obedient child? Which has honored the father? Well, of course, the second one. Regardless of what he said, his behavior proved his allegiance to his father. Perhaps the same thing is true of us. It's not nearly so much what we say, it's what we do. So may we, with God's help, go out and live in a way that brings honor to God and shares God's love with people.